Okay guys, let's finish this up. All right, so part 2, here we go. We got a 0. That means that this is a 0 for this polynomial, right? That means that this polynomial is divisible by what factor? This polynomial is divisible by the factor of x plus 3, right? That's a factor of that polynomial, okay? If that's a 0, then that's the factor. Just keep that in mind, all right? So now, this represented that I had 3 of the x to the 4th. So now this one represents that I have 3 of the x cubes, okay? All right, minus 15 of the x squared plus 13x's minus 4. But I'm not going to write that down yet. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and do synthetic division again now. Watch this. I'm going to do synthetic division with these numbers. Since I got a 0 there, all right, I can just use synthetic division now, okay? So now, I used -3, okay. Remember earlier I used 1 and -1 and that didn't work? Okay, don't try those again, they still won't work, okay? -3 worked, which means that -3 could work again, okay? So you would simply start off with -3 again, okay? But in the interest of time, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you what does work. According to my book, 4 works, okay? So I could plug in 4. Remember, the only numbers that are gonna work are the numbers in this list, okay? Those are the only numbers that are going to work. And if you exhaust this list, chances are the only other solutions are going to be imaginary solutions. So anyway, let's just do this. Ready? Bring down the 3. 4 times 3 is 12. Subtract 15, you get -3. Okay, 4 times -3 is -12. 13 take away 12 is 1. 4 times 1 is 4. -4 and 4 is 0. So we found another 0. Okay, so that guy right there is a 0. And what's my other factor here so far? X. If that's plus 4, what's this? X minus 4. That's another factor. So right now, this guy, I've already divided out these 2 factors out of this polynomial. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty powerful tool here. All right, so now, keep in mind, this represented that I had 3x to the 4ths. This means I have 3x cubed. So what does this mean? That's right, I have 3x squared. So now I have 3x squared minus 3 plus 1, okay? What I want to do now is try to factor this, okay? Now I can factor it pretty much on my own. So 3x and x, okay? Right, 3x times x is 3x squared. The only thing I have here is 1 and 1, okay? So let's do the insides, 1x. Let's do the outsides, 3x. Is there any way, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to put an x here. I'm trying to get -3x's, right? -3x's. I have a 1x and a 3x. Can I get that? I cannot, okay? So the only way I can solve for x here, you guessed it, quadratic formula, okay? So this guy isn't going to work. Typically, we would be able to factor all the way down, okay? Remember, like over here, we were able to factor. Once I got to this step, I can just factor it. Once you get it narrowed down to a trinomial, go ahead and factor, okay? And I got my zeros really easily, okay? Here, why didn't I factor from this step? Because I didn't have a trinomial. I had 4 terms. Now I have 1, 2, 3 terms, so that's a trinomial, and that's what you want. That's kind of your goal, because typically you should be able to just factor, all right? Since this doesn't factor, I have to say x equals opposite b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times ac all over 2a. Okay, so x equals 3 plus or minus the square root of 9 take away 12. Uh-oh, ding, 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 ding. What is that? That's -3 all over 6. What is this? This is imaginary. Ah, we don't want that, okay? These guys are imaginary, so we don't want that, okay? So, remember what the instructions are. The instructions were find the real zeros, okay? These zeros right here are imaginary. They're not real. So, the answer to my problem, the zeros that I found are going to be -3 and 4. -3 and 4, and that's the solution right there. Okay, so hopefully that was somewhat helpful. If you have questions, just email me or jump in the Zoom sessions and I'll be more than happy to help. All right, guys, peace.